Yeah,
Okay,
go
so
ahead.
this is something that I want to explain to folks. I got a daughter and I got two sons. My boys, once they cross like 13, 14 years old, they get their man hormones. Ladies, that's when your sons get their testosterone. And testosterone drives libido, it drives aggression, it drives competitiveness. This is a natural fact of men, right? My son shot up from like 5'2" to 5'10" and he's still growing. I got another one that was 5'2" and now he's up to 5'6" and he's still growing. Right? That's what testosterone does. He was under the bench press. He could barely do the bar. He was doing like 60 pounds on the bar. Now he's benching 135 pounds for no other reason than the fact he got his testosterone. Right? Now I got nieces. They crossed the puberty line. Now all of a sudden they're more emotional. So you telling men that they need to control that, and men do need to control their libido. But you setting the same standards for men pertaining to their libido, right, would be like telling women don't be emotional because it's hormones that drive it. Okay, my son is beating off every goddamn day. He's in the bathroom trying to pull his penis out by the root. Okay, and that's just the nature of boys. And you can't teach or preach some that out of boys. What you teach a boy to do is to control it. He learns how to control it. It's not something he gets out of him because it's there. It's part of being a man. And this is why I say women don't really understand malehood. Y'all don't understand the burden of the male libido. Y'all don't understand the burden of the male libido. Y'all don't understand most men struggle against their libido. They're trying to live a life against what their dick is telling them to do. I don't think y'all really get it. In the same way that y'all struggle with y'all emotions and feelings, and y'all know at times that you're being too much and that you're being overly sensitive, but you just can't help it because it's how you feel. Imagine all of those emotions being in one place, being through your penis. That's it. So y'all, women don't really understand that. That's number one. And then number two, Miss Michelle A, right? I want to ask you a question because you talked about the promise of loyalty and this, that,
Yes,
and the
that's
other.
my name, Shalay. Sorry. Yes.
I'm sorry. You pronounce it for me again. I don't want to mispronounce your name.
Shalay. No, you did it. Shalay. Yeah, you
Okay,
said it.
Chalet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and Chalet, me and you are in a place of peace and respect. And I know we got loud and went
Always.
back
I've
and
talked to
forth,
you before.
but
Yes,
I
I
do
love
need you to
listening to
know,
you. Yes.
yeah, I
Yes.
do need you to know that I respect and love you.
And
Okay,
I
so I'm
respect and
not
love
trying
you
to come at
too.
you with. Okay, we just got different ideas, and that's okay. We can talk
Yeah.
about them, right?
We're talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you do with the fact that in marriage, men cheat? This is the data that's been collected 28% of the time, and women cheat 24% of the time. 4% difference in marriage. So when women say men are cheating and they're doing this and doing that, and in paternity clinics, over a third of the children don't even belong to the dads, can you see how men feel women grant each other victim status and a good faith assumption about their behavior while at the same time having no problem, despite provable reality, stating it, they have no problem assigning bad behavior to men for why the shit doesn't work out. So when you say that, hey, the woman was virtuous and this, that, and the other, and the man was lecherous, not you didn't use the word lecherous, but is out here slaying the world, right? You got to understand that's the same type of time the women are on. People struggle with fidelity in marriage because it's such a hard commitment. All men struggle with it, all women struggle with it to some degree, and some people fail because they don't have the character. Some people fail because something happened in their life and stressed them out and they had a weak moment.
Yes.
Some people fail because they ain't shit and they weren't ever raised to be shit and they ain't
Yes.
never gonna be shit. Some of
Yes.
these men and women are cheaters, and there's nothing you could have ever did right to keep them honest because that's
Correct.
just the way that they cut. And so
Correct.
men struggle with their libido 100%. And we do cheat more than y'all, but not enough for women to be pointing and saying we cheaters. If we put a mountaintop and I'm standing on a mountain, your mountain almost as high as mine when it comes to cheating, right? And
Well,
so
well,
that's a point I push back against when women make it, where they try to present in
well,
relationships that men cheat more than women. When you got a lot of women and
well,
y'all know each other, women
yeah, but
know each other. Y'all know women that's running around on their husband and nobody is the wiser. Y'all know women who got boyfriends but are talking to two, three, four, five, six different dudes at a time. Y'all just
Facts.
give each other good faith and victim
And don't
status
say
no matter
Facts.
what.
Well, can I respond to what you said?
Yes,
'Cause-
ma'am.
okay, so I agree that people have a problem with being honest and honorable. Absolutely, that is a universal problem that people have with being honorable. Again, based on a capitalistic system, which means you are supposed to try to get over on somebody. So a lot of people have that in their mindset, and a lot of people think that somebody else is trying to get over on them, and they want to get over on them first. And some like you said, there's a myriad of reasons why people are unfaithful and dishonorable. What I was specifically discussing was women who go into a relationship. I was not talking about those unfaithful. There are a lot of women that go into relationships and go in with the intentions of building a family. And the stories are everywhere. Now, the reason why I don't get into the statistics and the numbers, because they're not facts. Because if a person is a cheater, then we know they're a liar, because that's what cheating is. So we're not going to get a good number because you're talking and you're asking cheaters to tell the truth about something. So whether it's men or women, those numbers are going to be so skewed because we know that people are not honest because they're cheaters. You're asking cheaters to be honest. And so we know that that's not the case. So I don't really get into those statistics, nor was I trying to compare the apples with oranges. Infidelity and dishonesty is a problem. You should not, as an adult, you should not be lying to anybody. You should not. Why would you need to lie about what you need to do? If you are an individual, you make decisions on what you need to do. Just don't disrespect other people, because when you bring other energies, and I don't care whether you're a man or a woman, when you go out into that world with that creepy cheating, lying energy, you are going to attract that kind of energy to you. And it doesn't matter if it's a woman or a man. If you attract those type of people to you because that's the energy that you're in, cheating and lying, you're going to go out there and attract that to you, and you're taking that back to your family. So if you're serious about being a family person and growing your family to be stronger, focus on you before you get a wife or a husband. Get yourself together. Be independent and self-sufficient, and not in a way that I can buy whatever bag I want and this I want, but be able to know who you are. Like Jesus, you talked about the male libido. Absolutely. Me and my son had a whole 2-year class on what was going to happen, on what the energy that he was going to be dealt with. I did the same with my daughters. My son also can tell you everything about the female energy. He can tell you about the different cycles. He know when a woman, when her estrogen and progesterone is high. And he understands that it ain't because she's crazy or just emotional. He understands that that's a cycle that she needs to go to be able to produce. He understands that. So he doesn't look at women as emotional and crazy. He understands that no, she has a job. Her purpose is to be able to carry children. So she has to have an energy that is cyclical. She has to recycle testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone. So sometimes her testosterone is going to be high and she's going to be very aggressive. Cycle testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone. So sometimes her testosterone is going to be high and she's going to be very aggressive. Sometimes her estrogen is going to be high. She's going to be super horny. It's going to change because she's a woman. Women are supposed to change. That's our
All right.
job.
All
That's
right.
our
So,
job.
ma'am,
And you all are
ma'am,
supposed to stay solid.
ma'am,
Yes.
we,
Yes.
ma'am, that's the thing. We are solid. The sexual desire and libido of a man is solid. You guys have this spike in temperament, right, before your period, right, because of your hormones.
Right.
So when
That's what
I
you just
was
said.
just hearing, when I just was hearing you talk, right, before, what I felt was being said to me is that men are they get in marriages and these women were virtuous and the guys were disloyal. And the reason
That
why
happens. Does that happen?
I, it does happen, but the way
Okay,
you
that's all I was
presented it
talking
in
about.
your
That's
first,
it.
hold on,
Nothing
hold on,
else.
ma'am. No, that wasn't it for me. I'm going to tell you what I took from it, okay?
Okay,
Because you
what'd you
did
take from
talk about it from a one-sided position up front. And then after I told you, hey, that was all one-sided and women cheat just as much, then you go to both. But
I've
what
always
women
been at
don't,
both
hold
every
on.
time I get on Noble's
No, no,
page.
no, no, no,
You can
no,
never
no.
take that away from me, no matter what you try to
Ma'am,
do.
ma'am, even if
I
you,
always make it equal. Every
ma'am,
time I speak, I
ma'am,
can
disagreeing
specifically
with me
talk about
wasn't an
women. I can
invitation to
specifically
cut me
talk about
off.
men, but I'm not going to
Ma'am,
cross up.
ma'am, disagreeing with me wasn't an invitation to cut me off. I was saying
I
something.
apologize.
Okay, no problem. Okay. So what I'm saying to you is when you were talking about it the first time, it was all one-sided. It was men cheat. But the reality isn't that men just cheat by themselves in a bubble. The reality is in the same way that you just talked about how your son needs to be understanding about the emotionality of a woman because it's driven by hormones. Women do not care about how hormones drive male behavior. They look at guys who want sex and see them as dogs. Now, some of them are because they haven't put it on a leash at all. But a man's desire for sex, in the eyes of most women, and in the way that you were presenting it, is that they're dogs and they're electric and they this and they that. And that was not two-sided when you were talking about it the first time. It was one-sided. And I don't know if you know you did that, but that is how it came off.
I no, that's how you felt it, and I understand you're a
Oh,
human, so
okay.
you have emotions. I get that. It happens. That's how you felt. I said that, and it's okay to feel, even if you're a man. So I understand
But
that's what you were feeling. I can
ask the
actually
comment
I
section.
hold on
Ask the
two
comment
seconds.
section.
Hold on 2 seconds.
Yes,
I can
ma'am.
act hold on. I can actually specifically talk to women and specifically speak to women, and I can specifically speak to men. And what I will say to both men and women will exactly be exactly the same thing. I do not change. I protect your energy. Learn to be disciplined. If you are learned, you learn to discipline your sexual energy and you learn to recycle it and use it in another way. You can control that. Just like I would tell my daughters, yes, you have your cycle, but you're going to have to learn how to manage your cycle so that you don't go around yelling and screaming and hurting people and cussing people out. You're going to have to learn that because if not, it's going to cause you issues in the future. So I am very understanding that, but discipline is important for everybody. I don't give men a pass. In fact, I say that men, it's more important for men to have discipline because you all don't have cycles. Women are not going to be horny 30 days out of the month. Women are not going to do that. We have a cutoff switch. And when I said switch cuts off, we're not thinking about that. Men don't have a cutoff switch. That's why discipline is so important for men because you do
All right.
not have a cutoff switch. So
All right.
all
So,
I'm
ma'am,
saying is I tell
Can
men
I?
and women the
ma'am,
same exact thing.
Yeah, go ahead,
ma'am,
Mister.
but
Go ahead.
but ma'am, you're saying that men need to make sure that they have discipline to deal with the way women are.
No, I didn't
They
say
women
that.
don't
I
have.
said to deal
Hold
with,
on.
no, I never said that. You can't,
You
no,
did that.
no, I never said that. I said
You just
men
said that
need
a
to
guy
be
needs to be
disciplined
more
in their
disciplined
sexuality. I said
because a
that,
woman's not
period.
always going. Right, because a woman's not always going to be in a mood. So a
No,
man needs
I
to
didn't say, I
adjust.
wasn't even talking about a mood. I was not talking about that. I
You
literally
said a
was not
man
even
isn't going to
on
be
that at all. I
okay.
said men need to be disciplined in their sexuality. For instance, you talked about your son. I also have a 6'2", 16-year-old son. I do not tell my son, I make sure my son
I'm
be
not talking
disciplined.
about what you told your son. I'm talking about what you just said.
What I just said was men need to be disciplined in their sexuality. I
Correct.
didn't
And
say
you
because of women. I didn't say because of anything. I said what I said directly.
read the
Men need to
comment
be
section.
disciplined in their sexuality. Period.
Read the comment section. I'm not the only person who heard it.
I
So
don't
maybe you
care
didn't
about the
know.
comment section. I know what I said. I don't need to read that.
Okay.
I know
Well,
me. And
all
if
right.
you
So, ma'am,
misunderstood what I said, I just repeated it.
well,
So
everybody
all you need to
misunderstood
do
it.
is run with what I said. I never said men need to be disciplined
All
because
right.
women are not going to be in the mood. I never even thought about that. I was actually thinking about younger men who
I
don't
Yeah.
need
talk.
to be going around impregnating
Hello,
women because they don't have any control.
Miss
That's what
Miss
I
Could,
was
Miss.
could,
thinking about.
Please,
I
please.
know that's. Yeah.
Miss-
Kanai, did you hear that too, or am I tripping?
I know y'all need to, that it's hard and you need to join in. Just be an individual and speak for yourself. You don't need to
No,
double
no, no, no.
team me. Speak on your
Ain't
own,
nobody
on your
double
stand
teaming
on
you.
your stand as an
Wait, who's
individual
I don't
double?
need your
because
help
that's
standing
what
on
I'm
nothing,
doing.
ma'am.
Because that's what I'm
No,
doing.
no, you just yelling. You just yelling and
Stand as
over
an
talking.
individual. Stand as an
No, I don't
individual.
Can
need
you
your. I
please?
don't, ma'am, ma'am. I appreciate that. I don't need your advice. I appreciate it though.
But I'm going to give
Okay.
it to you
I
just
was
like you're
only
giving me
pointing out,
yours,
hold
just
on.
like you're giving
I,
passing out advice.
no, no. This is what I'm saying to you, okay? This is what I'm saying to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's difficult for most guys to communicate with women. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the reasons why is because how you feel about what you said sometimes overlaps what you said. And that the proof of that is I just told you something you said. The comment section agreed that you said it.
No, the
Kanai agrees that
brothers
you
that are
said it.
your
But
amen
because
corner
you
agreed,
but
sir.
because no
The
no no no
amen corner
no
in
no
the
ma'am
comment
ma'am
section agreed.
ma'am that
The
wasn't the
people who just
conversation to
want to
start
go along
talking.
with you, they agreed.
Ma'am,
Not
that's
not
okay.
the people who are actually in the
All right,
middle
thank
and
you.
just
Thank
listening.
you. I'm not gonna
Not
I'm not gonna
them.
say any
It's your
ma'am, I'm
amen
not gonna
corner. They follow you around.
okay, thank you. Thank you. I get
Yeah,
that, but
that's who's
I'll tell you
agreeing.
okay, thank you.
See,
So
see
basically what you're saying is
there.
that if anybody agrees with me, it's because they're following me and not because what I say has any validity. So
I didn't
what's the
say
point of you
validity.
talking
You
to me?
just you lied on me and
What's the
said
point
that
of
I
talking to
said
me?
men need to control, have discipline over their
Yeah.
sexuality
Okay.
because women are not
Well,
always in the mood.
I'm
And I
not going
never
in
said
circles with
that.
you. I'm not gonna go in circles with you.
And I
Let's move the
never said
conversation
that.
forward. Yeah, I
Miss
get it.
Kana,
I get it.
Miss Kana,
Everybody
you had
heard you,
something to
but
say,
you
right,
didn't
Miss
say
Kana?
it. We got it. Let's move forward.
All right, Miss Kana has something to say. Go ahead, Miss Kana.
Yeah.